Well, it says live, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Still uploading on DJ Dyko 2 now. I don't know what's going on. It's not there if it doesn't come up in the studio. Come on. Sending, but it's not streaming. Well, we can see us YouTube. I'm not seeing it in YouTube studio. Wish I can get this graphic. Come on. Oh, I'm on the wrong deal. Alright. Alright, let's get that. Hopefully that works. The RFO show. Let's get it. Update on the biggest court case in America right now. Everybody needs to tune in. We're going to play some clips on social media. And if you are a friend or a foe or whatever, you just want to get on the show and just spam the DMs at Top Earth is Flat, bro. You can spam my DJ Dyko 55 at gmail.com. DeltaStatePro.com is our sponsor. Please click that link in the bio. 50 state legal shit pink. 50 ship safety meeting. Yeah, you can buy the supplies or the tools to engage in a safety meeting, but you need the fuel in which, of the safety meeting, and that's right there on their website. So let's see if we can't get straight to it. Let's see if we can get straight to it, or if it's going to be like that and not work. Oh. So follow us on whatever's left. We're still on Facebook. Got a couple YouTube channels blowing up again with these shorts, especially about Charlie and other things going on. But I also have strikes. I can't upload at this time. So if you check out DJ DIAKO number 2 on YouTube and help by sharing the fuck out of those shorts. Again, Delta 8 Pro below. That's on banned everywhere. I guess we're just going to have to do a YouTube show. Let's get it. We're going to play. It's the first clip that came up. So the third, he's posted more content. This is Tadon Downing. He's actually doing the shit that we talk about. Well, if this is true and we're beating these cases, we need to go tell them they're fucking breaking the law. Whatever the case may be. Him and Jessica Saxton are pioneering it, and I understand a bunch of other people like me are involved. sharing it, but I don't think that we even close to doing enough. So let's get into it. This video or this live stream is specifically about the build-up. Everyone knows now the corruption going on in court. We've all had to deal with it one way or another, whether it's child support or CPS claim, false claims, whether it's realizing that they're not here for us. I own the rights. This is a remake for parody purposes. This is a cover. This is a parody. This is not the original song. We need some background music. Now do the adverse. We're going to get into this clip. First, some conversation. Hold on 1 second. We can all feel it here. Again, entertainment purposes, parody purposes, not the actual song. Please don't mute or copyright me. We own the rights. Can't you feel it? These judges are done. They're offering us millions of dollars to back down. Will you stand with truth? Will you stand up? Are you going to continue to be a bootlicker? So that's what I'm trying to get at. Are we going to sit there and let these people, run our lives? Or are we going to tell them they can't do that? You'll be a bootlicker, you're going to turn in your license and your registration. I'm just saying, folks, what's it going to be? It's now or never, folks. I like this part. Then it goes back to the short. No. That's great. Imagine being the drummer, and then you're like, damn, I can outdo all of you with this one song. I just need one song. Anyway, people, I got friends now, like, oh, what's this deal with the Jews? Like, do you have any Jewish friends? We literally make fun of and shit on every race at one time equally when I was in school. My Mexican friend would shit on me for being native, in a bullying way, but we laughed about it. Called me a spear chucker, I called him a beaner brain, or whatever the hell, and we got along. But yet my friend like, well, but Hitler. Well, I don't want to bring that up on this live, but just want to talk about why the Jewish supremacy thing has been going on. And it's like, oh, they could have projected it on the Mustache Man. But we can't find any written or verbal except the one book, where he's out here, blonde hair, blue eye, and all that. The whole idea was that his family, that he believed that he was that, and his family was that, and it was supreme. You know what I'm saying? You don't just start defending. Well, I don't want to say that because there's all these people of all walks of life and races defending Israel right now for the money. But typically, you don't just, I'm going to support a master race, but I'm not of that race or whatever, and I won't reap the benefits if the Aryans take over. That's my point. They lied to us about everything else. They lied to us about the earth being flat. They lied to us about... The thing is, what if the mustache man was innocent? How come we've been brainwashed so bad that we can't get it out of our head because of social reasons? I don't want to be socially rejected. That, clearly the Jews are doing it now. People have to admit that. But why in the fuck? Let's just say it like this. If I got kicked out of 108 restaurants, right? If I got kicked out of, we'll get into the court case. But if I kicked out of 108 restaurants, I need to send that to the homie. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I sent. It's like this, bro. You can't know they doing it now. Still believe 2025 that they wasn't doing it in countries kicked out of. All I'm saying is all I'm saying is imagine you heard I got said telling everyone he's not like that. It's all good. It's the point that everyone won't. That's at the point every restaurant won't even let me in. You or only last starting a scene. And you kept telling when he's not like that. It's all good. Let me in. Then boom. And 9. Yes. Snap. No reason. Started place. Well, still victim, bro. Well, I'm still the victim, bro. You wouldn't keep still. The mustache man, right? I say, why? Yeah, but still can't. Here, but uh, oh well, like we just blindly believe Muslims. I think most agree that was a crock shit, but mm, don't hate me or not. Sorry, like this. Restaurants, LOL. I doubt you would help me. No. So we gonna yeah, that's all I'm saying. I got thinking about it. Alright, sorry. So that's all I'm saying with that deal. Is that you can't possibly, if I got kicked out of 108 restaurants or 1,000 restaurants, and it's claimed my behavior. Oh, sorry. I meant, imagine you knew but crime
long, a day that we're pleading with God to help to do something for mercy. Those are the days when our faith grows the most. St. Augustine said everything is good, including what we think is bad. It's not that we would never know good.
for the truth about Israel.
We know the most. St. Augustine said everything is good, including what we think is bad. It's not the bad, we would never know what good is. We don't learn to be faithful in the peace and tranquility of life. We don't develop power and learn how to use it within the status quo or by the acceptance of mediocrity. Those things, just like SAFTEY worked, and be strengthened, and can only be done through trials and adversity. Long before the man is known, before his word really be true, before his hand is used to bring peace, he must experience many bad days. He must experience inexplicable tragedy and great loss. Before he experiences the sweet taste of victory, he must have his fill of bitter tears. Few of us, who after the first life are given the gift of a vacation in the valley of the shadow of death, instead we experience loneliness, gain humanity, become more. Embrace your day. I know that sounds ridiculous, but embrace it. For that day was made just for you, to show you how strong you really are. If today was the day, then I would thank God for the blessing, because He only gives that to those whom He loves. Once or twice, someone comes along who subscribes to this silly belief that he can change the world. He would develop the ability to ignore what is and the opinion of the majority and begin the long and lonely work of making a new way and doing what is right. One prayer of power to lead millions of us Catholics to the promised land of their dreams. With regard to the justice system that we have today, I don't speak for the states, but I do believe I speak for the people of the United States. I say, this isn't what we want. This isn't what was envisioned, and we're sorry for what it's caused. The ones who aren't being talked about and who are suffering at home and not in prison are far greater than those inflicted by the crimes. The real story of mass incarceration isn't prisoners. It's the wives and the husbands, the mothers and fathers. It's the children and grandchildren, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles, the friends and the workers. It's the first words. It's the birthdays, the sick days, the beautiful days. The days that we cry and the days we laugh. It's the kiss of the intimacy. The real story of mass incarceration is not about the crime. It's about the cost. Never buy into the belief that someone cannot be saved, that they can't be forgiven, or that they can't be loved, that it would be too hard, or that they've done too much. We cannot give up on those who we love, because if we will have given up on those who we neither love nor don't love. We will have given up on humanity. We will have given up on ourselves.
Fighting the traffic issue, thinking that no one cares, that it's a small backwater of liberty and constitutionalism and the fight, and not important. However, if we understand the traffic case, we are really on the vanguard of in Great Britain. There's a mandatory digital ID system going into effect. You cannot buy or sell. You can't go to the doctor's office. Can't take public transport. Can't use your bank. Can't shop at any public retail, cashier, and tax collections. You're going to be excluded from all society. Can't go to school, send children to school, etc. Entity. You can't travel. Travel is one of the first things targeted by that, and you are going to be limited in miles that you can go, flights you can take, trams and buses that you can take as well. So your movement will be constrained to your 15-minute area. And this is an attack on egress rights that in our country are foundational. In one of my cases, a 5-page administrative notice showing in 13 cases in Tennessee that the right of egress connected to land and your place on land, foundational. In one of my cases that in our country are foundational. In one of my cases, I have a 5-page administrative notice showing in 13 cases in Tennessee that the right of egress connected to land and your place on land as a man or a woman, imago Dei, right? You're made in God's image. You're being man or woman. You have a right to egress rights unobstructed by any corporation, any criminal, any officer. You have a free movement right. So the people who you care about and whom you follow and read about, they're really on the vanguard, on the front. They're the uranium-tipped or the tungsten-tipped cap on the armor-piercing projectile to smash through tyranny and oppression and oligarchy. We're on the front. And so these details about traffic are training grounds for us as we deal with ultimately this, that we're going to have to go naked. By that, I'm suggesting that at some point we're going to be told, we're going to have to convince ourselves that we're just going to use the road without any documentation whatsoever. No registration, no tag, no insurance, no license. That's where we're being pushed. We're being pushed in that direction. The question for you and for me is, what legal basis or bases do we have to do that? Is it anarchy? Is it lawlessness? Are we just being rebellious? Or are we, in fact, in exercising egress rights, the right of free movement, the right of free communication? Are we at the front of the resistance? We think we're in a small area in the back, but no, I think we're at the front. I think the right to travel and the concerns you have in being someone who watches what I have to say, you're at the front, okay? So get serious, and be persistent.
Sir, the reason I see you toss that juice box out the window back
Juice
there.
where? Juice where?
Sir, don't. Stay in the car. Dispatch 12-4. Suspect just fled northbound in a sedan, plates IA-14.
If you've long
Sir, the reason I stopped you, you tossed that juice box out the window.
Juice where? Juice where?
Sir, don't. Hey, stay in the car. Dispatch 12-4. Suspect just northbound in a tan sedan, plates IA-14.
question the constitutionality.
Sir, up to you. You toss that juice box out. Back
Juice
here.
back! Juice back!
Sir, don't.
Let's go!
Hey, stay in the car. Dispatch 12-4. Suspect just fled northbound in a 10 vintage sedan, plates IA-14.
The legality of speeding tickets and thought might just be revenue-generating road piracy schemes built on legal fallacies, then you gotta listen to this video right here. This is brought to
Real quick. I guess that's Kim Kardashian before she transitioned into looking like what the fuck she looks like now. She was hot. She's ugly now. I mean, back then with makeup, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that character she looked like when she without makeup. She looked like Middle Eastern as fuck. But see, that's America, bro. It's makeup and shit. Oh man, can talk about how the Epstein list is real. Yep. Alright, I need to quit TikTok. Let's get it. Let's go.
us by Meg's Crime Watch channel. Listen to the lies that they are willing to tell to validate speeding tickets. Check this out.
All right, this is a citation. It was issued on June 30th of this year on Patterson Road there, Wayland Township, Allen County, state of Michigan. So speeding citation on an actual fin of 35. However, it was only written as 1 to 5 over. Ms. Brenner and Rumpf, you're here on this citation for 1 to 5 over speeding to do one of 3 things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation. 2, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide explanation to the court as to how or why this happened. Or 3, you wish to contest this citation, in other words, fight the ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
I believe I'm looking to do the third, I believe.
All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and swear you both in. If you could raise your right hand, same as the deputy. Swear or affirm any testimony you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
It makes a lot more sense for me to start with the officer. He has the burden to establish to me why he issued you a citation in the first place. But after that, you have an opportunity to either ask or testify on your own behalf, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And with that, Deputy, you want to pick up the narrative somewhere where it makes sense, explain the issuing of this citation?
Sure. I was conducting moving radar southbound on Patterson Road. The suspect was northbound on Patterson Road in the 35 zone. It was the only vehicle in the operating zone of the radar. I detected 50 and a 35, and my radar was calibrated to an independently calibrated speedometer, I also had audio visual match on the suspect vehicle. And then when I made contact with the suspect, the defendant, Brooke Romp, she had stated that she was going 40 or 50 in the 35 zone. And then I issued the citation.
All right. And ma'am, what is it you wish to tell me?
All right. On 6/30 of 2023, I received.
Say what the trooper basically just said, if I just translate it appropriately. I harassed an individual who wasn't harming anybody, threatening to harm anybody. She wasn't damaging property. She wasn't interfering with anybody else's rights on the roadway. She wasn't making anybody unsafe. And I, a man with a gun, decided to pull her over and economically terrorize her anyway.
Number SD 20177 stating I was in violation of CL 257.628 of the Motor Vehicle Code. 1 to 5 miles per hour over the posted 35 mile per hour speed limit. The citation indicated I was in violation of the statute while on Patterson Road near 126th Avenue. Section 5 of the above listed statute states a speed limit established under the section shall be determined by an engineering and safety study by the 85th percentile speed of free-flowing traffic under ideal conditions, a section of highway rounded to the nearest multiple of 5 miles per hour. A speed limit established under this act shall not be posted at less than the 50th percentile speed of free-flowing traffic, optimal conditions on the fastest portion of the highway.
Ma'am, I am familiar with the law. You can move forward.
Okay, my apologies. However, this section of roadway, the safety study has not happened. On August 1st...
How did you determine that, ma'am?
I'll continue. On August 1st, 2023 at 15:08 hours, contact was made with John at the Allegan County Road Commission, who advised his title was Traffic and Safety Advisor. He advised this section of roadway in question has not had an engineering and safety study conducted on it, and the speed limit was set in 1993 under a traffic control order. He advised the road was zoned as all right-of-way and not as residential or in any other manner in which would require the limit to default to. Under the statute that we are going over, MCL 257.628, Section 2, subsection A states the proposed change of speed limit without the necessity of a speed study consistent with the method prescribed for establishing speed limits under 627. MCL 257.627, Section 2, Section H indicates for a 35 mile per hour to be established without a speed study, there must be no less than 45 vehicular access points, but no more than 49 vehicular access points within the half mile. The section of roadway in question does not meet or qualify the number of access points for the section of roadway to be 35 miles per hour, as it does not have 35 vehicular access points within the half mile section in question.
How many does it have?
This morning when I drove through, I counted, and it has, in that half mile section, it has 24. That was my count. I'm not the expert on the safety study, but when I counted, it has 24,
Okay.
including.
I'm going to make a long story short here. What you're asking for is formal hearing because you're challenging statute. At informal hearing, you would be challenging speed. You need to, and what I'm going to do is they'll reset this for formal hearing. That involves the prosecutor's office in front of the district court, just so you'd have to make this argument in front of. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're beyond what we do for informal hearing, this particular vein of challenge. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you will get reset formal hearing. You'll get new notice out. We just need to make sure, I'm sure we have a good address for you here. Edwin Drive in Wayne.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Right.
Your Honor,
So,
may I ask another
yes.
question? Okay.
Uh-huh.
If you find Officer Morse in favor of him, I would just like to ask him if he would be willing to amend the citation to a non-moving violation while keeping the costs and fines the same. I'm willing to pay that. I just would not like the points on my list.
let me ask you a different question.
Before we continue with this, because he's going to construct legal fallacy. This is that stretch of road. This is South Patterson and 126th Avenue. So according to this woman, for a 35-mile-per-hour zone to be established without a speed limit, there must be no less than 45 vehicular access points and no more than 49 in this half a mile. And this wasn't done apparently, and I personally counted 22 to 24 access points in this half-mile stretch. So the speeding violation was outside the parameters of the code, and the ticket is therefore illegal. So the argument is that neither the city, nor the state, nor judges, nor troopers can make their own rules. Only the legislature has the authority to do this. In this case, the legislature defined the method by which the state can legally restrict speed. The rules written by the legislature were not followed, therefore the restricted 35-mile-per-hour zone authorized, making the ticket null and void according to their laws. But the truth is that speeding tickets serve two purposes. Number one, they remove your rights, and number two, they extract your cash. Don't look at them as speeding tickets at all. Look at them as what they really are, revenue generating schemes, because this is where the judge constructs a legal fallacy, and they all agree to lie about something that never happened on record.
There is one speeder that you get points for. It is 1 to 5 per speeder like you have, but instead of not on expressway, it is on unlimited access. Now, if the speeder you were looking at was 1 to 5 over limited access, you would pay the same fine, but you would get 0 points for it, and this one, which is 2 points.
Okay.
Is that acceptable? Is that what you mean by a no points?
I would. Okay.
Is that acceptable? Is that what you mean by a no points?
Just like to, if he could amend it to a non-moving violation.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I would ask him to move it to a no point speeder. But if you want a non-moving violation, you'll have to go to formal hearing and see if the prosecutor would accept that.
Okay. So I just want to just make sure that I understand you correctly. So if we ask him to amend it to the limited access, then it would be, then I would pay the same fines. I would just have no points on my license.
Correct.
Okay. I'm willing to. Sorry, go ahead, Deputy Morris.
I'm fine with that. If we want to amend it to a 1 to 5 limited access and do the no points, I'm fine with that. If
I think that's 627C. All right, so just so you understand this, Narumpa, I'm going to explain this to you because it sounds like you want to know this rather than it just simply happening. It's a little bit of a legal fallacy because now we're going to say you're going 72 miles an hour, but in a 70-mile-an-hour zone that's what's called limited access, meaning you have to ramp on and off, like 131 or I-196. That's what gets you 0 points and the $100 fine still. So what I'm going to do is now say we're amending to that citation that's saying you're going 72 and a 70 on limited access. We do this frequently, but I don't do it at my discretion because I'm judicial branch. But I would always do it at executive branch's discretion, which is the officer.
We construct legal.
I think that's 627C. All right, so just so you understand this, Ms. Brenner-Rump, I'm going to explain this to you because it sounds like you want to know this rather than it just magically happening. It's a little bit of a legal fallacy because now we're going to say you're going 72 miles an hour, but in a 70-mile zone that's what's called limited access, meaning you have to ramp on and off, like 131 or I-196. That's what gets you 0 points and the $100 fine still. So what I'm going to do is now say we're amending to that citation that's saying you're going 72 and a 70 on limited access. We do this quite frequently, but I don't do it at my discretion because I'm judicial branch. I would always do it at executive branch discretion, which is the officer.
In other words, we construct legal fallacies quite frequently.
It's a little bit of a legal fallacy.
So
That's saying you're going 72 and 70 unlimited access. We do this quite frequently, but I don't do it at my discretion because I'm judicial branch. But I would always at executive branch's discretion, which is the officer.
in other words, we construct legal fallacies quite frequently.
It's a little bit of a legal fallacy.
So the legal fallacy in this case is they're going to say that she was doing 72 and a 70 in a limited access road.
Because now we're going to say you're going 72 miles an hour, but in a 70 mile an hour zone.
Which she didn't do. So he's amending the citation something that didn't happen. And all three parties, this woman, the judge, and the trooper, are agreeing to lie.
So they can just amend and change the charge to something completely different. I could be charged with whatever by the amending process. Well, I thought it was obstruction, Your Honor, but for failure to identify, now I've got this show mode charges. Sir, I don't think that's appropriate at all. Wasn't no kids on my motorcycle when I got pulled over, Your Honor. And I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I'm great around kids. So this is fucking nuts. You know, if they could do that real quick and they could amend your charge from being just obstruction and no license to, oh, we're just gonna, yeah, if they don't like you, they can call you whatever. What's with this in the plea agreement? Yeah,
I on record about something that never happened, just so that she can get points removed or points don't appear on her license. But she's still willing to pay the fine, government approved extortion fee.
I think the officer's reading in between the lines that this may be more trouble than it's worth to go down this road, and you might be correct, and they have a problem with the whole speed limit on that stretch. That he's willing to do it, you're willing to do it. We would end this now. You would get no points, but you would still be paying the $100 fines it costs.
I'm fine.
In other words, nobody's willing to go the formal hearing route where you.
Yeah, they don't want a formal hearing where you can challenge jurisdiction. And you say, oh, we'll do it and make it look like you were hauling ass just 2 miles over the speed limit, which is fast, at 70. Then they're going to do all this stuff. They talked about judicial, and sometimes I do executive. Like, what the fuck? And then what did he just say?
I'm fine with that.
In other words, nobody willing.
That he's willing to do it, you're willing to do it. We would end this now. You would get no points, but you would still be paying the $100 fines it costs.
You still got to pay a $100 fine plus court costs and fees. We still got to get paid. That's what this is about. We'll take $100 and call it. What? It's like he's just testing people, like they're testing us all. Well, no, well, I went to court a few days ago. Well, does that work? We'll just put all the charges into one and then drop all of these and just $100 fine. Does that work? You come back with a license, nothing. Like this judge is making me rethink some of these other judges. That's what they do. They throw an offer out there and be like, well, you know, like a banker. Does that work? But you got to Jew them and be like, no, that's too high. I know that's not. I know that y'all trying to get the highest you can for these cars. I know we can work out a better deal, a lower price, lower payments. Okay. And then by the end of the day, you're like, okay, but most people have crazy bitches with them or whatever it is. It's like that crazy bitch is like, oh, that's fine, pay that. And it's 100,000 instead of 50, you know what I'm saying? Man, I could have got it for 60,000, but now we're paying 80. Well, it's like, does that work? We can clearly, if Speedy, if these charges were lawful charges, and it's not some colorful consensual statutes, clear as day, what would happen is you wouldn't be able to amend it. Because technically, like, you're amending what happened. It's like you can't amend the law. So how are you going to change on paper what's being accused? So you're lying. And he even said it's a legal fallacy that they do it. He admitted it on camera. So that's what I'm getting at, folks. The judges, Tanao Downing, we've served, he served like 34 judges, Supreme Court, whatever, Supreme Court officials and other judges. This shit is so mainstream that these judges are spilling the beans. You can't be a judicial judge and then, or whatever, you know, and then, oh, I do some executive stuff on certain cases, on certain people, when there ain't no judicial. So yeah, what about the administrative law? I just think it's crazy that this guy can say all that. This lady's clearly not that knowledgeable. Well, hold on. This isn't a formal hearing. This isn't constitute. You know, you have an informal hearing because they're going to informally do things. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do things normally. It's like, well, we can't do that. You're challenging statute there. We'd have to do that in a formal hearing. Well, so you mean to tell me I need a formal hearing to challenge jurisdiction? And this is 57th District Court C. You need to go to the district judges. Well, what the fuck are you?
I'm fine with that.
In other words, nobody's willing to go the formal hearing route where you challenge the statute, because if you did that, you're going to open a can of worms, because if she didn't deserve the ticket because it was an illegal ticket, then how many other hundreds of people during the course of that road even being opened are going to go, hey, you know what? I want my money back. I want the points removed from my license. Judge is not interested in opening up the can of worms. She's not interested in opening up the can of worms because all she wants is, hey, I'll pay the fine down and I'll kiss the boots. Just don't put points on my record. And then they all get together and they agree to lie about something that didn't happen.
All right, then that's how we proceed. You want to give it a few hours, though, before you call to pay, because they...
That's the end of this video. They all agreed to lie. The judge suggested, hey, we could lie. We could commit a legal fallacy. You can put any euphemism you want to on it. The judge is suggesting if you want points off of your record or never to appear on your record, then we all have to agree to lie. The judge agreed to do it, the executive branch, the trooper agreed to do it, and the woman agreed to do it. This is the state of our legal system. Share this video because this encapsulates and distills not only the road piracy that's happening, but also demonstrates the lies that they're willing to tell to keep this road piracy extortion racket happening. Which kind of brings us to what Lysander Spooner said. Those who are capable of tyranny are capable of perjury to sustain it. I want to know what you have to say about this. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. It really helps me overcome the algorithms. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give this video a like, share this video with everybody you know. And if you do like these videos, check out my most popular playlist. There's probably a video on there that you haven't seen yet. And I think that you'll be greatly benefited and educated by watching them. I will see you in the next video.
It's the Jews, supremacists. It's settler colonists posing as Jewish supremacists. Central bankers using the state as a collection agency, fund settler colonists posing as Jewish supremacists. It's the Jews.
They've been killing poor people.
Did you Israel when you have a...
It's the first.
It's the Jews. It's Jewish supremacists. It's settler colonists posing as Jewish supremacists. It's bankers using the state as a collection agency to fund settler colonists posing as Jewish supremacists.
I was kind of hoping you there.
Me? I'm supposed...
I was kind of hoping you'd go over there.
Me? I'm supposed to be the voice of reason here?
No, surely that's not what it means. I mean, how bad could it have possibly to get to that point?
Pretty bad, okay? Because I'm hoping you're going to be the voice of reason. When I went over there and tried to talk out of it, they told me to kick rocks barefoot. They seem to like you.
That's weird to me, because I don't think I've ever said anything to them. Ever.
I don't know, okay? I guess they think you're just walking around here pocket full of sunshine.
No, that's a Glock. Maybe they think I'm somebody else.
Whatever it is, take a direction and see if they'll let us use it. Okay, ours is broke for the next 2 days until the parts come in, and we got to move some stuff. Tell them we just need it 2 or 3 days, nothing crazy, see if they'll let us for it. And I'm pretty sure they just want to talk to you because they want to offer you a job. So regardless of how it happens, just get the damn forklift key.
Okay, I'll go see what I can do. You know, if they do offer me a job, I might stay over there. Shit, looks like the grass is greener over there.
Would you quit talking and get the forklift? And the only reason the grass looks greener is because you ain't been over there long enough to fuck it up yet.
Let him go, Roscoe, let him go. You think he's bringing back the forklift?
Well, best I can figure, if he goes over there, they're calm, respectful, nice to him, and everything goes great, he's probably not bringing back the forklift. But if they piss him off, I bet he drives back on them with or without their permission.
I had the same thought, especially when they told me the guy that keeps up with their forklift key is the one that took Ricky's park spot by the gate, because he forgot to renew it.
Really? I'm gonna go open the dock door.
For what?
Forklift or the ambulance will choose up first.
Baby, you get a check. A baby. Did you know that in Israel, when you have a baby, you get a check, and a baby gets a check every until it's 18, put into the mother's bank account. It's our tax dollars.
Well, yes, that's because America's Israel's bitch.
Yes.
You keep driving! You keep driving, you black spirit piece of shit, nigga!
Cut! That was perfect, guys. Perfect. Just the way it was wrote. Word for word.
So you wrote?
Yeah.
Oh. So this is how you always huh?
What do you mean? This is how you feel.
My name is Jessica Sin, and I'm also here to provide notice in accordance with USCS Civil Procedure as well as Rule 17 and Rule 20 from the United States Supreme Court. So as Mr. Downing was just referring to your law enforcement officers, you also pay your judges and your prosecutors. And you have one judge in this county, like all other 3,143 counties in America, that is acting unlawfully in family court, in juvenile court. And you're paying for these crimes to happen. You're paying for the deprivation of rights regarding our families and our children. Not only that, what makes it worse is that you are incentivized to unlawfully remove children from healthy, loving, fit parents. The state incentivizes you all to remove these children, Title 4E, Title 4B, and sometimes under Title 4D. And all of you know this to be true. Judge Maliber, I have evidence in my possession that she is acting criminally. She has committed felonious acts against families in this county. You all continue to pay her. Now that may be because you don't know, or maybe you're not made aware, or maybe you don't have the evidence in your possession. But I'm going to leave here today letting you know that there is evidence of these crimes she's committing against families. That she is removing children lawfully. She's depriving these children of their rights. And you know what, under 18 USC 242, if kidnapping occurs, the punishment for that is death. These are our laws. They're like said Lex, the law is hard but law. I have in my possession today an affidavit. This is pursuant to 28 USC 1746. An affidavit to this federal is evidence of crimes. And I am here to provide you notice. I'm also going to provide this notice, but this is an affidavit from a mother, and according to Civil Procedure 4.1 DH, I am dropping service, so you have now been made aware. Miss Prison of Felony is now on your...
Miss Saxton, I have a question for you. Miss Saxton, I have a question for you. Attorney? Okay. Mr. Liddy, can you please come up here?
Get it. Can't leave him.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just have a generic question. Obviously, during the public comment period, Board of Supervisors are not able to respond to members of the public. Are there any guidelines, rules, statutes about alleging criminal activity for a member of the judiciary? How does the board handle that during public comment?
There are some rules on that, and I will advise the board on that in a confidential setting so that the attorney-client communication would maintain its confidentiality.
Okay, please do. Thank you.
Please understand that they have no rule in their wheelhouse that supersedes federal law.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
Marissa Hamilton, Leslie Shard.
We need the clerk. Point of order.
What do you mean point of order? You have documents, you can bring it up to the side here. The gentleman here will be very friendly. This is Miss Hamilton's time, so please allow Miss Hamilton to take her 2 minutes to speak. Miss Hamilton, please go forward.
Now you see that we're over talking with the law enforcement officers, still have the evidence in my possession at this point. And then boom, there he takes it. Service has been bid, the evidence is now in their possession. The attorney waddles his way over. He attempts to tell them they have to give it back, that they cannot accept service there. And we say, nope, service has been provided. The evidence is now in your possession. And we walk out. On the formal video, you'll see where the law enforcement officer takes the information, hands it to the deputy clerk, and the clerk is in possession of evidence against Judge Melissa Zaber. Service has been provided.
I would never take my own life. I would never take my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel?
My name is Jessica. I'm also here to provide notice with USCS Rules of Civil Procedure as well as Rule 17 and Rule 20 from the United States Supreme Court. So as Mr. Downing was just talking, referring to your law enforcement officers, you also pay your judges and your prosecutors. And you have one judge in this county, like all other 3,143 counties in America, that is acting unlawfully in family court and juvenile court. And you guys are paying for these crimes to happen. You're paying for the deprivation of rights regarding families and our children. Not only that, what makes it worse is that you are incentivized to unlawfully remove children from healthy, loving parents. The state incentivizes you all.
Never take my own life. I would never take my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel?
Remove the children under Title 4B, Title 4B, and sometimes under Title 4D, and all of you know to be true. Judge Melissa Zaber, I have evidence in my possession.
Oh gosh dang. How long has it been sitting there?
Over 20 years.
Oh damn! Alright guys, as you might notice, we're scrambling a little bit and there's a really, really good reason for it.
Alright, we're live.
I would never take my own life.
You want to join the box, go right ahead.
Okay? You hear that, Israel?
That she is acting clearly. She has committed felonious acts.
I invented the step. You know what rhythm was until you saw me. Lies, propaganda.
What the hell?
man. You can't.
I would never take my own life. I would my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel?
Bet you didn't see this.
That wants to take the stage and talk about dual loyalty is dead wrong. What the organization represents, what Western civilization represents today, is under an understanding that Zionism and Americanism are the front lines of Western civilization and freedom in our world today.
Keep watching.
Nazism are two sides of the same coin. Well, they actually did mint a coin. Zionism and Nazism cooperated to get Jews out of Germany because both of them believed that Jews should not be in Germany. That's a matter of historical fact. You don't need to bring the historian from America. You could bring many historians from Israel. This is not a secret. It's only a secret to those now waking up to it. They were cooperating because they had the same idea that the European Jews they should be in Palestine.
Was a man by the name of Theodor Herzl, H-E-R-Z-L. He was the founder of Zionism. He said that he was going to find the state that God promised very carefully. This man, Herzl, was an atheist. He believed that there was no God. He said God did not exist. Now how is it that the man who believes that God does not exist is going to find a state that God promised to his chosen people? This man is Satan in disguise. Zionism is a satanic movement. It is devil. It is imperialism. It is racist. It has gone and taken the lands of the Palestinian people and through terrorism has driven them out. And through terrorism, it meant takes its power. And the United States of America, over 6 million homeless, sends to the streets.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of being Heinzed, as in the verb. Let me go and give you my definition of Heinzed. It's the skillful art of diffusing the tyrannic intent of law enforcement agents by catching them in the inexplicable, disarming, sometimes...
Alright, let's go. The box is open. Let's see if we can get this. Alright, we're lit. We're live. Guess we can play music on here. I'll copywritten on YouTube. So we're going to mute up from on the YouTube channel. We're on TikTok though.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking it. Meet Base 44.
Anti-Semitism in all its forms. Friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time.